Hey guys, friendly local otaku here, coming back at you with the truth. Anyways, I want to present this video off a little bit differently than how I normally start off all my videos. I want to present you with a little bit of a question. What is your definition of, say, a masterpiece?
I can't believe I paid $6 for this. This video is the biggest load of hoo-ha I've ever seen. Why do you insist we watch this stupid thing?
Am I the only one who understands the complexities of this ambitious cinematic masterpiece? This movie isn't stupid! You're stupid!
A work of outstanding artistic skill or workmanship. When was the last time you would consider, at least within our given decade or two, an anime that would fit that category? Let's not say that there isn't. I would consider Made in Abyss and Madoka Magica, both masterpieces in their own regards. Madoka Magica redefining what is a magical girl anime, and Made in Abyss just taking the adventure, psychological horror to like new levels. They both change something about what it means to be an anime. But other than those two, what else would even come close to something like, say, Ergo Proxy, Spirited Away, Akira, Death Note, Cowboy Bebop? There's just so many others. That's the question I present to you. So anyways, let's start the video.
You like anime, I'll tell you what to do. Go and see my boy, a friendly local otaku.
So as previously mentioned, as I said before, we know kinda a bit of what it takes to be a masterpiece. But what I was trying to get at earlier with my statements was that nowadays I feel like studios aren't taking those chances, aren't really putting in the resources to really make something really special.
Alright guys, starting a new anime project here. Before we start the meeting, any suggestions before we start this project? Anyone?
Right here, sir. Yes, Jeff. You go ahead, go.
Well, I was thinking, to minimize costs and to be as efficient as possible so we can make the most amount of money, we should make sure our employees don't get paid the full amount. Cut costs by making sure that we have CGI crowds. Make sure that's not hand penciled, because no one ever notices that. Make sure we outsource everything to the Philippines, because everyone there doesn't care if they get paid shit. Just some of those suggestions, make sure that the source material is like a manga or a light novel, because we need to make sure that this makes money.
Excellent idea there, Jeff. I like the way you're thinking. That's why you're gonna get promoted after this shit.
Guys, don't we actually want to make a good product where our customers and our viewers will actually like what they're watching and will actually be considered something watchable for the more hardcore fans?
What, Rebecca? Why are you even here? I don't even like you. Who even invited her here? This is a business after all. Get the fuck. There's a saying here in our fucking business here. You know what it is? It's called "Get the fuck out of my building."
And it's kind of not really their faults per se, because making a masterpiece isn't. I'm not trying to make it sound like an easy task. It's an enormous task. With the Akira, the reason why that's considered highly regarded, not just because of its story, but because of the amount of studios, the insane amount of work that went into, to produce this just animation glory fest for the eyes. What does it take to make a masterpiece? A lot of people might be pointing to the movie Your Name. It was a wonderful movie. The animation was just crisp, extremely beautiful, and it's the most highest grossing box office anime movie of all time. So some would say, well, it made the most money, so thus it should be considered a masterpiece since so many people watched it. But this film might not age very well in the future. I don't know. But overall, I would kind of agree that it is, but it's still too soon to call. I think so. If money isn't the issue, and critical rating is an issue, what is? Like I said before, I think it's its longevity. How long will it still be talked about to this day? Because there's many anime that are still to this day very much not talked about because they didn't have such a long life cycle for whatever reason it was, for its production, for just not being a good story. There's multiple reasons I could go into these into why something's not considered a masterpiece.
Your Highness, I'm sure it's not that noticeable.
Second, like I said with Your Name, is it the animation? I think it's definitely not just animation. For me, there's many requirements that have to meet a checklist, and it's just a mix. It never has to meet all of them, but it has to be at least most of them. It's production. It definitely has to be there. It has to have at least very well lit or unique style to it. It might even be too unique. Like, let's say the anime movie Mind Games. If you go watch that meets the animation was apparently low budget, but the way he did it put a really unique spin, but it's very much not talked about to this day. So some people might not even consider it a masterpiece just because of its longevity has been kind of in terms of its popularity. But again, like I said, just because something isn't popular does it make it a masterpiece? I don't think so, to be honest. It's just, really underrated. So if popularity, budget, production, the story behind how they produce the anime, like, there's a whole mix of reasons why something could be an anime for different reasons, and there's not really a general term, even though it's such a complex issue. I know it's hard to describe. There's so many anime out there that deserve to be considered number one to you, or just a masterpiece or classic. At the end of the day, it's a very subjective topic, very much a topic that will always probably be talked about. What should be considered a classic. Like I said earlier in the video, most studios are favoring quantity over quality, and it's sad. That's all I gotta say today. I was just kind of in my mind, like, just seeing, you're always just, you're always just kind of scrolling through my anime list, and just going through the seasonal anime of the year, and like I said, you'll see a shit ton of new studios that you've never heard about. You've heard, CGI is used not for creative use, but for just for cheap turnarounds, just to, for CGI crowds, save time. I understand, but it's very out of place, and it doesn't help the industry. It doesn't help growth. It doesn't help spawn new talent. If anything, it's just putting anime in a stagnation state, and it's kind of sad to see from someone that really enjoys the medium. And yeah, so hopefully in the future, this next decade, from 2020 to 2030, that we'll see a few anime that come out that really just take off and hopefully are considered are masterpieces in most people's eyes, and will spawn a new generation of anime lovers and artists and people in the industry that will push the medium forward. Well, that's really all I had today. Anything you need to say, Flo?
I just want to say, One Piece is the best anime of all time, no matter fucking what. Bitch.
Yep, as expected from you. Anyways, I'm off. Peace. I'm fucking out of here.
Smoke weed every day.